everybody, and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. Firstly, to the regulars, I just didn't want to do a longer live reaction to this. I wanted to give you guys just a quick, bite-sized reaction of my thoughts after two big games and two big losses. Potentially European football looking more and more doubtful now. And both of the performances this week have been absolutely shocking. The defeat today was probably the worst. It could have been 3-4-0 West Ham. I thought the defending was absolutely shambolic. I thought some of the key players weren't their usual selves. And we just didn't deserve it. We just did not listen. A reaction where I can say, oh, we did everything. We threw everything at it and we're unlucky. We just did not deserve it today. The team selection was odd from Bruno Lage. I think you look at our defensive, the options that we had in defence. I think Semedo being out made a massive difference because that pressured him into playing Hoover. And I can kind of see why once he had to choose Hoover, why he didn't choose Aït-Nouri, because it maybe would have been, it would have been too much of an attacking backline wing backs that he needed something to balance it out. Markel came in. I mean, Hoover was shambolic though. Hoover was shambolic. Kilman wasn't his usual self. Obviously, I don't know whether, because of everything going on in Ukraine, obviously that's affecting him at the moment. But he wasn't his usual self. Cody went back to 2 years ago. Cody making silly mistakes, but really we were lucky that didn't get capitalised on further. Neves wasn't on game today as well. I mean, at times he looked his usual self, but at times I feel he really lacked that midfield partner in João Moutinho. And Dendoncker, you know, he's not a Premier League player, and we're really now seeing the lack of money spent in January is really coming back to hurt us. We at the time, I think we wanted a centre mid. We would have took a centre back, but I think the centre mid was a priority. And after the positive results, I think we maybe changed our mind and said it wasn't needed. But having watched Dendoncker over the last few weeks, yes, he got a goal against Tottenham. But apart from that, he has offered nothing. He was absolutely dreadful today, put us in some really compromising situations. And, you know, I just look at the front three and scratch my head as well, because I just don't get why Podence was dropped. I don't know if there was an injury involved there. I don't know if he just needed resting. But Hwang, nothing offered today. Absolutely nothing. Trincao, he got brought off first. I actually thought in the second half he had actually started to liven up a bit, but one of the worst first halves I've seen from a player all season, to be honest. And Fabio Silva, probably the only player that I'd give any credit to today. He's not the finished article, but he's 19 years old playing in the Premier League. We saw fight from him. We saw a lot of runs made that I haven't seen from Jimenez lately. And you know what? I actually think he played pretty decent, to be honest. I think he's the only one that can kind of leave the pitch with his head held high. No, he wasn't an effective striker in terms of delivering a goal. Yes, he could have maybe done more if you're comparing him to the likes of an experienced Premier League striker. But this is a 19-year-old that seems to have improved a hell of a lot. And I think, as I say, the only one I'd probably give any credit towards today. The decisions on field was just as mind-boggling as the ones made at the start of the game with the team lineup. You know, we're chasing the game after going 1-0 down, and we're passing around from the back, and I'm seeing this too much from Wolves. No player wants to take risks. No player wants to put a risky ball in. The only player that we seem to have to do that is Neves. Dendoncker can't pass the ball more than 5 yards. No one really was taking risks. No one was really wanting the ball from what I saw in dangerous positions. We made it way too predictable going forward. We spent too much time passing around the back. Even on the 90-plus third minute, we're still, instead of launching it 40 yards up the pitch to try and get a header knocked down and then a shot, we've decided to pass it around the back, and we don't even get a chance to attack because we're just passing it around the back. It was just a really confusing performance from us after the defeat to Arsenal. I thought we really would have come out fighting, and we just showed a real lack of quality today. And you do have to question, you know, we've got the game in hand on obviously West Ham, but there are teams above us now that have games in hand on us or have played the same amount of games as us. And it really now does feel like it's going to be a hard task. We've gone from looking at the top 4 to looking doubtful in finishing in Europe this week after 2 big defeats. We've got Crystal Palace to come next. We've then got, next month, we've got the likes of Leeds to play, who might have a new manager and might be, bring a new energy. We've got Aston Villa to play, a massive home derby. We're coming into March now, and I'm thinking March is going to be a big month for us. And we need to get big points as well if we're going to finish in Europe, because you look towards the end of the season, we've not got a nice run of games towards the end of the season. We need a big March. And based on what I've seen at the moment, to do that, we need to get Semedo back. I don't know how long he's out for, but please, let's not hope it's too long. We need Moutinho back in the midfield. And I'd probably still gamble on Silva against Crystal Palace. I'd give him another run out, because even when Jimenez come on, I didn't see an awful lot from him to make me ultimately convinced that. But somehow and somewhere, we've got to start finding goals on a consistent basis. And we've now also got to we've got to get back to ourselves defensively, because we've just looked really clumsy defensively. West Ham could have easily put 3 or 4 past us today. A really poor performance. I'm somewhat just can't describe it. Guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm sure, like me, you're just really disappointed. What did you make of the lineup? What did you make of the substitutions? What did you make of everything, really? And please, if you're new here, please do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The only thing I'd leave on is the fact that we're doing a lot better than we ever thought we would this season. We're one of the favourite contenders to go down by the bookies, and I think even though we didn't feel it ourselves, it shows how well we've done this season to be where we are. I think every single one of us would have took a top half finish, and we're still en route for that. But it does feel like a massive week where massive opportunities have been dropped. And yeah, I'm just very disappointed, as you could probably tell. And I'm sure you guys all feel the same, but do let me know in the comments. And hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.